Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're gonna talk about Tilray because what happened on September 19th, 2018 was nothing short of historic and absolutely insane. Um, Basically, if you put $3,000 or about 100 shares of this stock on, let's say, August 17th, a month later, September 19th, if you sold at the right place, you'd potentially have $27,000 off of a $3,000 investment in the matter of a month, buying 100 shares of a stock, which is like totally absurd to think about. Now, Tilray is a marijuana stock. I don't know if it's the first one to eclipse $200. It's definitely the first one to hit $300. So you look at the day's range today. The day's range was $151 to $300. That's in one day, a 100% difference on a stock that was already $151. I mean, this thing eclipsed Tesla, Spotify, Facebook. I mean, you're talking about some of the most valuable companies in the world. Its share price went above. Um, the 52-week range is just absolutely insane, and it's not even a 52-week range. This is the IPO date was July 19th, so this is more of literally it's a 2 month range. It's a 60-day range of $20.10 to $300. The crazy thing about Tilray is the fact that this company doesn't even generate a profit. This company doesn't make money. Um, we can see that right here when this loads. Why isn't it loading? Okay. So the net income of this company is negative $12 million. It's lost $12 million this quarter, um, and has a share price of $200. So there's no way anyone could have predicted this, right? What people are betting on is marijuana. Now, this company did have news today. I don't know why it sort of rose from $22 all the way to $100, like on September between September 11th and September 12th. I just know that today, when it shot from 150 to 300, that they made an announcement um, that so they're a Canadian stock, they're a Canadian marijuana grower that supplies pharmaceuticals, and today they announced that they were going to be able to import their marijuana to pharmaceutical companies inside of the U.S. Um, to help people that have tremors from various diseases that cause tremors. So they actually got approval from the DEA of the United States, which is monumental. It's monumental for the industry, and yes, great if you bought Tilray. But I gotta say, I'm always looking for marijuana stocks, and Tilray is just not one that appeared on a lot of lists. I think a lot of people found it to be pretty expensive for the amount of money it makes, and the fact that it's losing money did not make this very attractive to people. And this also plays into the hysteria because you look at the value of the stock and it's 53. I mean, look how high it is. It's $30 for a pot stock. It takes a while for that to happen. I mean, if you've ever if you've been in sort of the pot game for a while, like you can kind of read these things, and that's expensive for a company that just got onto the stock market in July to already be at $30 without any sort of significant reputation or kind of like being on the market for a while. So you can see that there have been articles written saying that this is like the perfect stock to short. So this one reads right here from Seeking Alpha. once in a lifetime, if you're lucky, you find a short like Tilray, basically saying this is a surefire short this stock, right? Now, this plays into the reason as to why it just exploded today. So, what happened is, if you're not familiar with what short selling is kind of, it's like placing a bet that a stock is going to go down. Now, there's a finite amount that a stock can go down. It can go down to zero, but a stock can go up to an infinite value. So that's why it's so dangerous to short stocks if you don't have a lot of money to lose. Basically, you need to be a really sophisticated investor to short stocks. So a lot of people started to short this thing, right? Probably when it got to like, up here, like, hey, you know, professional investors, people that work at banks and stuff, they look at this income statement, they see negative $12 million and, let's say a share price of $89. It doesn't make any sense. Nike stock is at like $86, right? It's a global company, billion-dollar company. So yes, right? We're gonna short sell this thing. I wish these balance sheets would load so you could see how much debt they have. Oh, there it goes. Well, debt was 54 million. Sorry, that was really quick. Come on. Okay, $54 million in debt, and how much cash do they have? They have $25 million in cash. So you're looking at around $25 million in debt and liabilities. Come on, load. Regardless, look, they're in debt and they lose money every month. So, yes, this is a perfect stock to short. But once they made that announcement, now people are valuing this company at a way too overvalued. So, I saw an article today that said it's valued at $25 billion because of this announcement. So, that's what it's valued at. That's not what it's actually producing. So, it needs to kind of evolve into this. So, I'm not saying to buy the stock. I'm saying I'm demonstrating, I guess, the irrational sort of or the quickness that these things sort of happen, right? Like, you may own a pot stock today that's not doing much, and out of nowhere it can explode. So, my main message for this video is if it can happen to this stock, it can happen to not any stock, but stocks that have a similar profile. Another thing to keep your eye on is the midterm elections that are coming up, right? There's a booming rally of marijuana stocks, Tilray, right? This came out today. Get another boost from midterm elections. So Donald Trump has not been happy with Jeff Sessions, right? Jeff Sessions is sort of this anti-marijuana attorney general, and basically, if he gets booted, the floodgates just might open here, right? On October 17th, marijuana becomes legalized federally in Canada, and you couple that with the midterm elections, and you just don't know what is going to happen. So, oh, here, I just brought up the Tesla stock just to demonstrate. It's at $2.99 right now, and the fact that this stock was, had a daily high of 300, it's just insane. So what I wanted to do though is maybe go through some stocks that have some potential here. So we can look at Aurora stock. They there was a rumor that, let's just stay on Investopedia. There was a rumor that they were talking with Coke about making a drink, and right now if you're Coke, you have to deny that rumor because you probably don't want to get involved with that. God damn it, this is kind of annoying. They don't have it on Investopedia. I want to bring up the financials and stuff. Okay. So revenue was $16 million, and it's similar to what we saw with the Tilray, and net income is they lose $19 million. So they're not losing a lot of money, right? It just takes one little thing, one little announcement, and people are gonna value this company to be a lot more than what it is. And if you already have it, if you have stocks at $8 already, you're just gonna go for the ride. Like, you don't want to buy this thing once it explodes, because it's gonna get overvalued so quickly. Another one is Afria. See, it's trending down, and but over the course of like a month, right, it's been going up. So let's see what we have here. $12 million in revenue. Net income is negative 499. So they're also kind of like on that losing money trend, but actually they have a pretty healthy amount of cash on hand here. So their operating income is negative 43. I mean, it's actually, it doesn't look that bad. And then Kronos. This one actually, I don't know about this one. I had it for a while and then I got rid of it because they kind of lose a lot of money. Let's see if we can get the details here. Like, $723,000 is just like a little scary, $3 million, and cost of negative basically $3 million right here. So not super appealing. Some other ones is like Kush Bottles. So they're actually like a bottling company and a packaging company for marijuana. So it's kind of like one of these sort of, they don't grow it, but they kind of do business with all the people that are selling and cultivating and things of that nature. So this basically, as the marijuana industry grows, this is kind of like one of those companies that may grow with it. It's not it's not gonna like explode overnight like Tilray did, but I mean, I guess Afria and Kronos Group have the potential to do that, and as well as Aurora. Yeah, if you guys have any that in mind, like Canopy's, those are big ones. Like Canopy just signed that big deal with Constellation Group, right? So that $4 billion investment, which really helped like marijuana stocks across the board. So let's see, Canopy and Constellation. This what this sort of thing says is like when Corona beer, Constellation, $4 billion. What this sort of tells you is once big money corporations get in it, I think the laws are going to start to switch in favor for marijuana based companies, because the alcohol industry was lobbying against marijuana legalization, but I think they just sense that like support has swelled to a point where they can't resist it anymore, and if the lobbying ends, politicians are going to be forced to basically legalize this federally. So when you kind of look at this, right, this is like a canary in the coal mine. This is just like kind of, if you missed this, like here's just another big set of news. And with midterms coming up and the legalization of Canada happening in mid-October, I mean, you need to get in now. You need to find companies that you feel good about. Do your research, of course, that are priced right, and just get in. Don't bet your life savings on this sort of thing, right? Don't take your 401k and start doing a bunch of pot stocks. Even though I've done one, but I do this with money that I've saved up, and that's just kind of sitting in the bank. And I want to, I want it to move, right? I don't want money to just sit in the bank. I want it to do something. And so, yes, there's risk involved. I risk losing money that I've saved over the years. But to me, I've learned lessons from the dot-com boom, right? I wasn't a part of that, right? But you can study those times in history and understand that when a bubble exists, as long as you're on the right side of the bubble, you're there before you get rid of everything before the bubble pops. You can make a lot of money. I mean, a lot of people got rich during the dot-com boom and are still running businesses today due to money that they made then. So if you're on the right side of investments, it can be life-changing. And right now, marijuana is in a state where big banks and professional investors are speculative around it. They're shorting it, which is a perfect recipe for the regular average Joe to get in and make a lot of money. So the purpose of this video was just to show you guys Tilray, the craziness that happens around speculation, and just want to make you guys aware that all the environmental factors are saying get in and just find something you like. So that was my PSA, and I hope you guys have a good day and happy hunting for your new marijuana stock.